There was a fire in the Bronx, 1978. An old apartment complex, no alarms, no sprinkler system, just chaos. By the time the fire trucks arrived, the third floor was already swallowed by smoke. One firefighter stepped out of the truck. Calm, no panic. He was told there was a child trapped inside, possibly unconscious. No time to think, no time to hesitate. He walked straight into the building. Everyone watching thought he was out of his mind. Minutes passed, nothing. Then suddenly, he walked back out, coughing, soot-covered, with the child in his arms. Later, a reporter asked him, "Weren't you terrified? That thing could have collapsed on you at any second." And he replied, "The moment you let fear take over, your body freezes. So I stayed where my feet were. I did what had to be done." That line stuck with me, I stayed where my feet were. Because it's not just about firefighting. That's what ends worry. Worry doesn't begin in the world. It begins the moment your mind leaves your body and travels into a future that doesn't exist yet. You don't worry when you're fully here. You worry when your attention races ahead, into stories, possibilities, outcomes that haven't happened. And the faster those thoughts spin, the more you disconnect from your breath, from your heartbeat, from the ground beneath you. Most people think worry is a feeling, but it's not. Worry is mental speed. 1,000 what-ifs per minute. A runaway train with no brakes. And the moment that happens, your body doesn't know the difference between a thought and a threat. It reacts as if everything you're imagining is happening now. Your chest tightens, your stomach flips. You clench your jaw without realizing. But here's the key. The body always knows the truth. And the truth is, right now, you're safe. Right now, you're breathing. Right now, your feet are on the floor. And in this moment, there is no emergency. Worry dies when you stop rehearsing disaster and come back into your body. You need to return to what's real. Breath, presence, movement, stillness. Because fear cannot survive in a body that feels safe. And you don't find that safety in your thoughts. You find it where your feet are. Worry survives because we fight the unknown, the moment we try to control what we cannot control. When we need a guaranteed outcome, when we demand clarity before it arrives, we suffer. Worry is not just fear. It's resistance to not knowing. It's the mind trying to solve the future, instead of trusting that the next step will be clear when you arrive at it. But real peace isn't found by figuring everything out. It's found by letting go of the illusion that you need to. There's a story from deep in the Himalayas. High above the clouds, in a place where no road can reach, lived an old monk in a stone hut barely larger than a single room. He had no electricity, no phone, no connection to the world below. His only company was the sound of wind curling through the rocks and the silence that comes after snow falls. One winter, during a heavy storm, a traveller lost his way. Cold and desperate, he spotted the faint smoke from a chimney and climbed toward it. When he reached the hut, the monk let him in without a word, gave him a blanket, and poured him a bowl of hot tea. As they sat by the small fire, the traveller looked around, puzzled. No food stored, no map, no clock, just the monk, calm as still water. And finally he asked, "How do you live up here all alone? Don't you ever worry something bad will happen?" The monk looked at him kindly and said, "What would I worry about?" The traveller replied, "You don't know if a storm could bury your hut, or if wild animals could come while you sleep. You don't know if you'll have enough food for the next week." The monk sipped his tea, then said with a soft smile, "That's the point. I don't know. And that's what gives me peace." The traveller sat, confused. The monk continued, "People think peace comes from safety, but real peace comes from surrender. Wolves come when they come, snow falls when it falls, hunger arrives when it arrives. But fear arrives early. Fear knocks before the danger, and most people open the door, They sat in silence. The storm outside howled against the walls, but inside the fire glowed gently. The traveller noticed there were no locks on the door, no weapons hanging by the wall, just trust, just presence. This man wasn't fearless. He had simply stopped fighting the unknown. He wasn't trying to plan every outcome or predict every storm. He had learned how to stay, completely, in what is, instead of drowning in what might be. And for the first time, the traveller realised maybe peace wasn't something to find. Maybe it was something to stop resisting. We don't live in stone huts anymore. We don't sit in silence with bowls of tea while snow falls outside. But still, the same storm lives in us. Not outside, inside. And the question is the same. Will you open the door when fear knocks? Because that's what most of us do. The moment we sense uncertainty, we don't just acknowledge it. We chase it. We wrestle with it. We try to outthink it. We ask questions we can't answer yet. We create scenarios that haven't happened. And slowly, quietly, we begin to leave the present moment behind. You may not realize it, but this is when worry takes over. Not because something dangerous is actually happening, but because your mind is now living in a place your body isn't. You might be lying in bed, safe, warm, but your mind is already in a conversation that might go wrong tomorrow. Already in a future where something might fail. Already imagining what you'll do if it doesn't work out. And without even moving, your body starts to react. Your chest tightens, your whole system believes it's in danger. But there is no danger. It's just your imagination, pulling you into a version of the future that may never come. And just like the traveller staring into the monk's fire, you forget what's actually real. You forget that the moment you're in now is whole, complete. Nothing is falling apart, no wolves, no avalanche, just breathe, just presence, just now. But your mind doesn't want just now. It wants certainty. It wants control. It wants a guarantee that nothing bad will happen, ever. And because it can never get that, it worries. Worry is the side effect of craving control in a world that refuses to be controlled. It's not about danger. It's about discomfort with not knowing. The monk in the mountains found peace not because he was fearless, but because he had surrendered to the rhythm of life. He no longer fought the unknown. He let life unfold. He stayed close to what was true, the breath, the wind, the moment. And so can you. You don't need to solve tomorrow to have peace today. You don't need to predict the future to feel safe in the present. You only need to return, again and again, to the place your feet are, because that's where life is. Not in the storm your mind imagines, but in the calm you create by refusing to open the door. Before we end, take a breath and rewind. You've just been told a story. A monk in the mountains, living with storms and wolves and silence, and yet untouched by worry. Why? Because he didn't fight the unknown. He didn't demand answers. He stayed where his feet were. He refused to open the door when fear knocked. You were reminded that worry isn't something happening to you. It's something happening inside you, when your mind leaves the moment and tries to control what can't be controlled. And that the cure for worry isn't solving the future. It's coming back to the body, to breath, to stillness, to here. Now remember the story from before this one. The French nobleman, locked in a prison, told every day by the guards that he would die tomorrow, and how that single sentence created daily death in his mind. Even though his body lived on, that was a man who opened the door to fear every single morning. And even when nothing happened, he still suffered, because his thoughts made him believe he was already gone. And before that, we spoke about Carl Jung's method, that worry is often a distraction from the true self, and that behind worry often lies a deeper truth we're avoiding. He didn't just ask people what they feared. He asked them why they feared not knowing, and through self-inquiry, they became free. So now, it's your turn, your challenge. For the next 48 hours, become the monk. Live as if every thought that isn't in the present moment is a lie. When worry shows up, do nothing with it. Don't fight it. Don't fix it. Just don't follow it. When your mind says, "But what if this happens?" whisper back, "We'll meet that moment when it arrives." And if fear knocks at your door, breathe and don't answer. Let your body lead. Let your presence speak louder than the storm. And if you forget, start again. Because your peace is not in predicting the future. It's in remembering that right now, you're still here.